What's good? How you guys doing? I just wanted to make a longer form video today, just showing how I edit some of my photos. I've been doing car photography for a little bit now. Been taking a few photos with a couple companies and couple businesses. So I just thought to give a process of how I actually edit my photos. This video is going to be a bit more of a long burn, so if you want to stop and pause it anytime, you can do that. If you want me to go quicker through it, remember you've always got that 2x button to speed up the video on YouTube, so just 2 times it to make it quicker, and then you'll get through it quicker. Obviously everyone does edits kind of differently, everyone has their own style, their own creative freedom, so this is just how I do it. I'm gonna show you what I do, what effects I add, and how I go about doing it. So first, right here, I'm gonna start on the aspect ratio. I'm going to change to 5:4 because I want it to be boxed for Instagram, so I can upload it on Instagram a lot better. This aspect ratio works quite well on Instagram, so I'm going to say right there. I'll put a little higher. I'm cutting out this leaf right here, and I can take this leaf out right there. Boom, so now we got this. So first things first, I'm adjusting the exposure. Make sure nothing's blown out. You can hold Alt to see what's going on. I think it's Control on Apple, but I'm holding Alt down. Don't want it too high. I'll pull it up a bit higher. Can adjust everything overblown out shortly. Contrast, I'll put the contrast up a little bit. I like my photos a lot more contrasty, so I'll put it up a little bit. Highlights, and turn those down right here. This shows how overblown it is, so I can turn it down a little bit. And then shadows. What do I prefer? I play about with it a little bit because you never really know until you kind of mess about with things and see how it works. But right here, I'm gonna turn mine up because I see a lot more detail when it's up. See, when it goes lower, you lose a lot of detail. But right here, I think 21. I'll leave it 21. I think 21 is good right here. You can use Alt as well on this to kind of see what's gonna be overblown and what's not. You see right here. We're gonna leave it at 21. And then the whites. What am I feeling? Yeah, with the whites, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit so things aren't so overblown. And then blacks, slightly turn off. There we go. I won't play with the temperature or anything yet. First, I'm gonna remove some colors that we don't want. So I want the reds for the calipers, but I want a bit more saturation and less luminance because that's not where the focus is. Go right there. Oranges are going to bring it down a little bit. I don't want too much in the background, as well as yellows. You see yellow right here. It's more of a yellow green to turn that right down. You see how that gets removed now. Greens. Let's tone that down a little bit. I can see a bit of green there. Let's tone that down. There. And then the aquas. I'm gonna take the aquas all out and the blues as well. Oh, do you want to take the blues out? See, this is where your creative thought process comes in, because you can then decide what colors you want in the photos and what colors you want out. I don't really want too much blue in there right now, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit and I'll keep it right there. Purples can go. Pinks can go as well. I like how this red just completely popping out, so I'm going to turn the saturation all the way up. Luminance can stay there. I'll turn the luminance up as well, just to make it pop a lot more. Okay, right here I'm gonna go into my color grading. Color grading is where you kind of add your colors on to give your photo a bit of a mood. So I like to use a bit of yellows on the mid-tones, and I'll go completely opposite. Blue right here on the shadows. I might pull it more on the purple side right here, and then I'll leave the mid-tones at yellow, and then the highlights I'm gonna leave that more so at yellow. I'm gonna check the before and after first though, which I haven't done yet. Usually I kind of do between, kind of making a nits, but so far we've gone from this to this, which obviously you see there's a bit of a mood tone, a bit of a more subtle mood tone change. A really good tool to kind of check your color wheels is Adobe color wheel, and right here it kind of tells you the different color wheels you can use and what contrasts well together. I usually use complementary or triad, so right here I'm attempting the more complementary side. So we've gone from like the mid-tones from being orange, yellow mid-tones to purpley shadows. I think that this will really work well with the G-Wagon right here. And you can blend it a little bit. So blending either brings it from one side of your tones to the other. So I wanted more of a shadowy, more of my shadowy colors to stick out. I'll bring in the blending a bit lower, but I want blending right here. This is how I usually blend. I put my blending up, and balance is like a more powerful type of blending. So as you see, you can really change the effect and mood right here. But I'll bring my balance slightly up, just by I'll bring up to 7. Leave it as that. Another thing you can play with is S-curve. Another thing you can play with is with the curves. So what I usually do is add 3 points, 1, 2, 3. And I adjust this right here, like here's the highlights. And then you can play with the shadows as well. But I'll leave the shadows right here. A lot of people like to do S-curve, so something like this. But a lot of the time you can play with it. So I'm gonna do right here now. I'm happy with leaving it like that. Oh, here's where I adjust the colors. So temperature, tint, vibrance, saturation, all of that. And right here, got the options. I want more of a warmer temperature on this, so I'm gonna bring it up slightly to yellow. If you can bring it down to become very cold and like give a really cold feeling, but no, I don't want that. Being as, first of all, it takes away my reds right here. Second of all, I do like the warmer kind of moods on my photos. I like to bring a lot of warmness now. This is what we had before, and this is what we had after with the changes. And then you can adjust vibrance, which kind of changes, increases the saturation of the colors that aren't already saturated. And then saturation actually just adds more colors to everything, which if something's already saturated enough, if you add more saturation, you may make it a lot more saturated than it needs to be. So I'm just gonna slightly bring the vibrance right here. I like that right there. Saturation can slightly go up for this photo, being as it's black and the red calipers, which I really want to stand out. I'm gonna add effects shortly, but before I add effects, this sleeve is really irking me. So I'm gonna use generative remove, which is an AI tool in Adobe Lightroom, which kind of just removes certain things that are unwanted. And yeah, boom, it's as easy as that. It's gone now. I'm gonna leave the mud and everything right here because I want it to feel really real and just in the moment. Sometimes in photography I feel like a lot of things are too perfect, so it doesn't really give a humanized feeling, especially in the day and age of AI where you can just have things instantly gone and removed and look in perfect. Want more of a human element in my opinion, so I like to leave little imperfections like this, especially when it's for a company or organization and you can genuinely show that the product is being used and it's not just actually chilling there. So we got the before and after so far. So this is before, this is after now. And right here I'm gonna play with the effects. So texture, I'm gonna bring that up slightly. And then you'll see like the car really pop, the reflections in the car and everything. Clarity, I bring that up. You don't want to crush it too high because then it becomes it looks really unrealistic. So I usually keep it down below 20s. I never usually bring it up higher than 20, so I'll keep it to 11. Dehaze, we'll add that a bit. Put it to about 11 right here. And then you can check if there's a lot of noise in your photo. And if there's a lot of noise a lot of the time, and enhance will help it a bit. And it will usually help it denoise. Let's see the original. And this is enhanced. Which right here isn't really gonna make a bit of a difference, so I'll leave it as it is. So it's time for the gradients. It's my favorite, one of my favorite parts of doing the edits. So I'm at a linear gradient. You can press L on the keyboard to get it up. And this is what I'm gonna do. L, bring it right here, and then I'm gonna turn the exposure down. And what this helps to do is create more focus on the vehicle, and I'll add one on top as well. Bring the exposure down in there. So this is what I've been doing a lot. I've been working with a lot of radial gradients, and I kind of like the reflective style look. So this is what I'll do now to give the look of light shining onto the car. I'm trying to make the car look like it's a heavenly object. So I do a radial gradient, so add a mask. Usually I add a radial gradient, I'll just press R for it. So R, here's what I do. I create like this, boom. I don't want it too far out, right here. And you can just adjust the feather, which essentially makes it smooth out a lot. So I'm putting the FO all the way up here, right here. And then what I'm gonna do is add a dehaze, and I'll put it all the way up. I won't put it all the way up actually, I'll leave it at 71. And as you see, it creates more of a reflection right here, as you see. So I like the dehaze on here, so 70. I'll probably do that a bit more. There we go. And then what I'll do is I'll add another radial gradient, and I'll bring it straight over the vehicle. So that is just completely fitting on. Right there. And then what I'll do right here is I invert it so the gradient's happening outside and not inside the radial. So invert right here, and then I'll bring the exposure down a little bit more. And because there's a bit of light coming from this side now, as I put the radial gradient to reflect right here onto the vehicle, I'm gonna do another linear gradient, and it's gonna be right here. It's gonna be really also exposure down by a tiny bit. I'll pull it down -12, and then I'll make it look more shadowy. So I'll decrease shadows right here, and the white's going a little bit down right there. And so this is what we got so far. This is before, and this is the after. I'm gonna do one more thing before this is complete, and that is I'm gonna select the subject, which is subject mask right here. Select subject, and if it's not selected completely how you want it, you can then add your little bits and pieces to try and get it selected correctly. I see some parts of the vehicle hasn't been selected, so I'm gonna add a brush to kind of just fill it all in. So add brush, and you can adjust the size and the feather, it's the same thing. It creates more of a outside flow to it, but I'm gonna turn that all the way down. Flow is 50, happy with that. Size, I can adjust that with my wheel. Density 100%, which I want. So this is what I do, I add it right here. One. And then I add a little bit right here. And then enter. And then it's where the fun really comes. So now I need to make the vehicle pop out a lot. So exposure is going up slightly. Contrast, I'll put that up. I'll put that right there. Highlights, I'm increasing the highlight to make it pop out a lot more. Look how beautiful them tires look from there. Shadows, I'm gonna bring that up slightly to 10. Whites, slightly up as well. Blacks, I'm gonna leave the blacks the same because I don't like adjusting the blacks when we get to this point. So I'm still gonna add more effects to make the car certainly pop out now. So this is what I'll do. Texture, that's going up. 45. Clarity, I'll leave that. Ooh, I'll leave that. I'll put that up slightly, so I'm gonna put that up by 2. Dehaze is going up as well. I'm contemplating if I want to remove the clarity or keep it, but I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. So right here for me, this will be my complete image. So if you take a look right here, we've got the before, now we've got the after. So that's how my process usually goes, and it's for the exterior of the vehicle. If you want any other videos kind of explaining what else to do, or just seeing my process in general, seeing my shoots, anything on those lines, leave a comment. Obviously like the video, subscribe, as well as I've got a Discord community for photographers, videographers, editors, business owners, join that below. And we'll have a lot of things going on, like competitions and everything on that sort, so get involved, and thank you for watching.